How was the Great Wall of China made? Without a doubt, the Great Wall of China is one of humanity's greatest achievements. This system of ancient walls and fortifications extends for 13,000 miles along China's northern border. The wall was slowly built over 2,300 years by 9 different dynasties, making it a vital part of Chinese history. As a result, the wall was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. In 2007, the Great Wall of China was named one of the modern-day 7 wonders of the world. We examine the changing face of the world's largest wall and what it reveals about the development of China's rich and diverse history. Who built the Great Wall of China? The Great Wall of China was built over the course of centuries by various Chinese emperors and dynasties. The earliest sections of the wall were constructed during the 7th century BC by the state of Qi in order to defend against raids by barbarian tribes. Later, during the 4th century BC, the state of Chu built walls along the southern border of their territory. During the Qin dynasty, 221 to 206 BC, the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, ordered the construction of a wall to unite the various sections built by different states. He also ordered the forced labor of many Chinese citizens to work on the construction of the wall. This early version of the wall was made primarily of earth and stone, and was about 20 feet tall and 15 feet wide. The Han Dynasty, 206 BC to 220 AD, rebuilt and expanded the wall, adding watchtowers and fortifications. The wall was also extended westward to better protect against raids by the Xiongnu, a nomadic tribe from the north. The Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, made significant additions to the Great Wall, building the longest and most recognizable sections that still stand today. This includes the use of brick and stone as building materials, and the addition of crenellations and battlements. The Ming also built the Great Wall's most famous section, the one with beacon towers, which stretches from the east in Shanhaiguan to the west in Jiayuguan. The Great Wall was not built by a single person or empire, but by multiple Chinese dynasties and emperors over a period of centuries. The wall was built to protect the Chinese Empire from barbarian invasions, and it served that purpose for many centuries. However, it is also important to note that the construction of the Great Wall was also a means for the imperial government to exert control over the population and to exploit the labor of millions of Chinese citizens. Where is the Great Wall of China located? The Great Wall of China is located in the northern part of China and stretches over 13,000 miles across various provinces. The Great Wall starts from the east in the city of Shanhaiguan, which is located in the northeastern province of Hebei. It then runs westward through the provinces of Liaoning, Inner Mongolia, and Hebei before reaching the city of Beijing. The wall then continues westward, passing through the provinces of Tianjin, Hebei, Shaanxi, Shaanxi, Ningxia, Gansu, and Qinghai, before ending in the west at the city of Jiayuguan in Gansu Province. The Great Wall is not a single continuous wall, but is made up of multiple sections, each with its own history, construction style, and level of preservation. Some sections, such as the ones near Beijing, are heavily restored and tourist-friendly, while others, such as the ones in the west, are less developed and more remote. The most famous section of the Great Wall is the one located near Beijing, called the Bottling Great Wall, which is the most visited section and the one that has been most heavily restored. The section is located around 50 miles northwest of Beijing. Other popular sections include the Mutianyu Great Wall and the Jinshanling Great Wall, both of which are located to the northeast of Beijing. The Great Wall of China is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most iconic and recognizable landmarks in the world. It is a testament to the engineering and architectural skills of ancient Chinese civilization, and it continues to attract millions of visitors from around the world every year. How was it made, and what materials were used to build the Great Wall of China? The Great Wall of China was built using a variety of materials and techniques, depending on the section and the time period in which it was constructed. The earliest sections of the wall, built during the 7th century BC by the state of Qi, were made of earth and stone. These sections were typically around 20 feet tall and 15 feet wide. During the 4th century BC, the state of Chu built walls along the southern border of their territory, using a similar technique of compacted earth and stone. During the Qin dynasty, 221 to 206 BC, the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, ordered the construction of a wall to unite the various sections built by different states. The wall was built using a technique known as rammed earth, where a mixture of soil, clay, and water was packed into wooden frames, and then compacted with a heavy ram. This method allowed the wall to be built quickly, but it was not very durable and required frequent repairs. In the Han Dynasty, 206 BC to 220 AD, the Great Wall was rebuilt and expanded, adding watchtowers and fortifications. The wall was also extended westward to better protect against raids by the Xiongnu, a nomadic tribe from the north. The Han also used a technique known as lacquer and tamped earth, where a layer of clay and lime was applied to the surface of the wall, providing a waterproof barrier and increasing its strength. The Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, made significant additions to the Great Wall, building the longest and most recognizable sections that still stand today. They used brick and stone as building materials and added crenellations and battlements. The earliest sections were made of earth and stone. Later, sections were made of a mixture of soil, clay, and water, compacted with a heavy ram, and then coated with a layer of clay and lime. And the Ming Dynasty sections were mostly made of brick and stone. In addition to the materials, the construction techniques also evolved over time. The early sections were built using simple techniques such as compacting soil and stone, while later sections incorporated more advanced techniques such as using brick and stone and adding crenellations and battlements. It is important to note that the construction of the Great Wall was also a means for the imperial government to exert control over the population and to exploit the labor of millions of Chinese citizens. The construction of the Great Wall required significant amounts of manual labor, which was often provided by conscripted peasants, soldiers, and prisoners. The Great Wall was built by soldiers, prisoners, and local peasants. The soldiers were well trained and equipped and were responsible for the wall's construction and defense. The prisoners were convicted criminals who were forced to work on the wall as punishment. Local peasants were also conscripted to work on the wall during times of war or famine. The construction process of the Great Wall was highly organized and efficient. The wall was divided into sections, each with a specific supervisor in charge. The supervisor was responsible for organizing the labor force, acquiring the necessary materials, and overseeing the construction. The construction process was divided into several stages, including site preparation, foundation laying, brick and stone laying, and finally, the construction of the wall itself. The Great Wall was not only a formidable military structure, but also served as a means of communication and trade. Along the wall, there were signal towers and beacon towers which were used to transmit messages over long distances. Additionally, there were also built-in watchtowers, barracks, and fortresses, which were used to defend against invaders. In conclusion, the Great Wall of China is a monumental architectural feat that was built over centuries by different Chinese dynasties to protect the country from invasions. Construction of the Great Wall required the labor of soldiers, prisoners, and local peasants, and the wall was made of a variety of materials depending on the location and time period.